What's up, boozers? The Forest. Natalie Dormer. I've been a massive fan of her since The Tudors. I absolutely love her as Anne Boleyn. She should stick to her natural accent. Natalie Dormer's American accent sounds either like she's got the flu or there's just something off about it.
Her face just looks even more strange when she...
Yeah.
And she's hot, don't get me wrong. I'd do her.
I would tap that from here to Westeros.
So this is directed by Jason Zada. The only notable thing that he's done is the houses that October built. Nick Antosca and Sarah Cornwell are the writers for this, and they really haven't done anything really notable as of yet. Nothing really good to say.
The cinematography is actually really, really good, I thought.
Yes, the special
individual
effects.
shots to, pieces of wood and leaves. It's all it's like you're reading the beginning of The Hobbit. Very appealing, but also very Twilight.
Very Twilight,
I don't know if you noticed that.
Yes.
Lots of woods, lots of rain. I'm just waiting for the sparkly vampires and then shows up some Japanese ghost.
Natalie Dormer plays Sarah Ann Jess Price. Sarah is the one that is coming to search for Jess. She has gone missing. She was teaching English to Japanese students at a school, and they went to the
Akogihara
Forest, which is also called the Suicide Forest at the base of Mount Fuji. Mm-hmm. It's a real thing.
Back in the old days, when there was not enough food or supplies to go around to the townspeople, they would send old women or sick people or disabled people into the forest to die. That way there would be less people to feed.
And since then, it's just become a place where you go to commit suicide. Sarah keeps telling everybody it can't be true because I would know I have this twin ESP
connection.
crap. Even if twins do have connection, the amount that they focused on this in the film bothered me. The amount that they go into this twin connection thing, just...
inconceivable.
I don't really see the point of, playing it out that long. We got it after the first time she said, hey, we have this connection. But if she had to reiterate to someone in Japan, I could understand. But she tells the same guy that she's with like 5 times about this stupid thing. And then he goes on to ask her again about this stupid connection. You're like, just shut the fuck up about it. Spoiler alert. I didn't care for the movie. The problem I had with this movie is that I didn't care about the characters. I didn't care about the story. The story was so
There's not
boring.
a single likable person in the story.
No, and the characters, they're not bad. And then they all become like psychotic bipolar and start like yelling at each other about stupid things randomly. And it doesn't make sense. There's a way to go about that if that's what you want to convey. And they didn't do that here. No. At all.
The biggest problem with that part, I think, is that it's trying to be a dialogue-driven movie, but it's really action-driven.
The dialogue was terrible in this movie.
Well, yes.
Terrible.
The dialogue was absolutely horrendous. The forest has these Yore.
Vengeful spirits, basically.
Exactly. That try to confuse you and cause different visions. And as soon as they get into the forest, you have no idea whether anything is actually happening or if it's a hallucination.
Most of the time, that's fine in a horror movie. But the problem here is that they never
clarify it.
They never clarify. So there's a point where she's arguing with the guy Aiden, who is played by Taylor Kinney.
Super hot.
Super hot. Oh,
it's like, is she just being a woman, or is she hallucinating, or what's going on?
Part of it, like, obviously she's having an argument with him in reality, but some of the things that he says and some of the things that he does, it just doesn't add up later. Like, is that really what he said, or did she hallucinate that part? Or what part's real, what part's not? And that really frustrated me to not know what was real and what was not, because you don't know.
The backstory, where she believes something completely different, which is, it's completely different from the truth of what actually happened. When you realize that, you have no idea whether she's absolutely insane the entire time because of the trauma they had in their childhood. So you can't trust anything she says or does. You're wondering the entire time, whether any of this stuff is actually happening or not.
No.
You don't know if he's crazy, if he's a complete D-bag, or if she's, just...
They give you so little information on their backgrounds, and what little they do give you, they just, hang on it. And it's so annoying. It's like, yes, we understand. We're not that stupid. The movie was completely predictable. I think they were hoping that Natalie Dormer, having her part of it, was going to elevate it, and I think that's the only reason it got any good publicity is because the story was just so boring. It was terrible.
So hot. What can you do?
What can you do?
Put her in a porno. 5 stars.
It wasn't a matter of, is she going to be alive or dead at the end of this? You knew in the back of your head exactly how it was going to end. Who's going to do what to get her to this place. I will say this. The one good thing that I liked about this movie, I enjoyed the way that they... Spoiler alert, I'm going to give you a couple seconds here to click off if you haven't watched this. Okay, I appreciated the way that they had her die in the end. I thought that was...
Loved it.
I thought that was really well done. I did not see that coming. I mean, you knew it was a hallucination she was having in that basement, her father. And I never would have guessed that the cutting his hand off was her. They tell you in the beginning of the film that this is a forest where the Yurei take control of your emotions and they make you kill yourself.
You shouldn't enter the forest if you have sadness in your heart.
In your heart.
So basically, no one should enter the forest.
Basically.
Long story short.
Nobody else had seen, Jess and Sarah together that was in the movie. So how are we not to say that she didn't have, split personality type thing? So we were wondering if maybe that was going to be the twist. We knew she was going to die.
Of losing your parents at the age of 6 is highly likely.
Right. We were discussing maybe she did see her parents dead, so she had split personalities from that point on.
Great song.
Yeah.
Rocking out. Drop the bass.
This is all gonna get it out.
No, I gotta keep it in.
I don't understand why they kept you away from Jess as long as they did, in the forest. She came out in the end. And she was fine, and obviously Sarah died. Jess had sadness in her heart. How come they didn't come after her relentlessly?
Another spoiler, they mentioned in the movie that Jess has already tried to kill herself twice. If she goes into this suicide forest and these Yurei are trying to convince you to kill yourself, someone who's already that suicidal is not going to come out alive.
It'd be an easy target, you would think, right?
Super easy.
Super. Or if you would have found that... Oh my god, I just had a good thought. It would have been great if, at the end, where Sarah's coming down the stairs and sees her parents, and her father comes crawling to kill her, and it would have been a great twist if that would have actually been Jess. So she would have killed Jess and herself. Wouldn't that have been awesome? I just thought of that.
So much better.
Just thought of that. I should do tequila shots more often. I'm pretty sure some kind of unnatural stimulant would make this a better trip for you.
Working on it. On IMDb, the star rating is 4.8 out of 10.
For all of it, minus the cinematography, I would give it at max a 4. And that's being generous.
Because of the cinematography, and maybe it's because I've acted and done films, I would give it a 6.
Someone is being judgy over here towards me. Mm-hmm, girl.
I know what it takes to...
Smoking the devil's lettuce over there.
Put those precise shots in sequence to create a certain illusion. I would give it a 6. But if the cinematography had been as bad as the rest of it, I would probably give it, 2.5 or 3. Very, very typical horror film. Super hot cast, terrible acting.
So it's really sad that it came to this, but that's how we feel about it. Not gonna lie to our audience. All 7 of you. So made myself sad. So make sure, if you enjoy us, even if you don't, come on, be a pal.
How is it going to hurt you to subscribe to some random drunk chicks that you don't like? I'm sure you've done this 6 million times to every party you've gone to. So click subscribe and then find us on everything else. Twitter, Facebook,
Instagram.
All
the links are going to be down below. And leave us a comment. Tell us we suck. Tell us we're awesome. Tell us we're fucking annoying. Whatever pleases you, We're here to please you. And we'll see you next time, guys. Stay awesome, stay boozing, and cheers!
Cheers!